Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So this is, by the way, the first day of my pre-recorded video. This was recorded on Wednesday. This is not the most up-to-date information as of Thursday, but it's just really a few hours older, so it really shouldn't make a big difference. What we're going to be talking about in today's video is mainly the pattern across the United States that could be leading to quite a few of these interesting storm systems. Some of them could be powerful and strong and leading to some powerful thunderstorms or severe weather, all that potential, and potentially some rain, which is a benefit of this. If you guys are new to this channel, hello and welcome. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this video. Consider hitting the thumbs up button if you also enjoyed. And if you have a comment or concern, leave it down below. I probably won't be able to answer many of them or any at all because I will be gone. But maybe when I'm returning back, I will be able to answer those comments. Okay, let's start talking about this, and let's go over the GFS model first. So let's start at hour 6, which is basically right now, and notice as we push forward, nothing really big. And you may be wondering, where is this big storm system? Again, it's a rather quiet pattern, but the first storm system is really, well, very far into North America. And notice that if we were to take a glance at this, there's our low pressure system very far to the north, but the main thing from this is its cold front. Notice that the cold front is stretching almost 1,000+ miles into the US, and that will be delivering quite a bit of activity of storms, showers, and as we push this forward, notice there are some remnants kind of following that. Now, this is just really the first storm system. And look, closely behind, we have another low pressure that's further to the south. Its cold front's not as long, but since it's further to the south, it extends its showers into the northern US as well. Notice this doesn't look anything significant, but I assure you this is going to be bringing some showers, some thunderstorms, maybe even some flooding rains. You can see right there back building into Illinois, Iowa. So it is far out. I do apologize about that, but I want to give you a whole view of this storm system because otherwise I'm just showing you a fraction of that storm, and that's a cold front. But notice that the low pressure does do a pretty good job of expanding across southern Canada, and that again does cause that cold front. Look how long that is. I mean, that's stretching for thousands of miles right there, and that's what these systems do. Notice you do have some cold air across the North Pole again. That will be on the increase now as we are passing the summer solstice, and the temperatures are going to be starting to cool. And yeah, that's the second system. There is another system that could be going on in a very similar fashion, and it's kind of a constant repeat. But because of this flow and because of these storms and their orientation, notice we do have a lot of cool air here, and that could be something to watch for. I already made a video about that yesterday. Let's go back and focus on the United States and southern Canada and take a look at that total accumulated precipitation. Notice 384 hours. That's what we have. Quite a bit of precip across a broad area of real estate, if you will. Now again, there won't be probably this won't be really a wet pattern, but those large systems, when they do occur, they could be bringing in torrential downpours, severe weather, and a lot of activity. Now again, these systems are mainly going to be impacting the east and the north and also the south, but I do want to mention that there will be an active pattern across the areas where the monsoons are occurring. Let me show you the Canadian model, for example, and compare it to the GFS. Let's take a glance at this and take a look at this. Notice there's our Canadian, there's its showers, right? And this only goes out to 84 hours. Let's take a look at the one that actually went through. Notice the heaviest of the rain is across the southeastern Canada and into the east, while they do show a bit across the west. Again, that's associated with the monsoons. And again, the Canadian, it does look pretty miserable on here, but usually it does like to underestimate rainfall amounts quite a bit. So I don't like the Canadian in that measurement. Really, in particular, I just looking at what it does with these storms. Notice some across Michigan, Illinois, but the real cold front starts developing across southern Canada into Michigan, the UP by this weekend. It tracks into the northeast. You can see there's its kind of elongated back building. Then there's that second one. You can see the Canadian keeps it way weaker and barely evolves it, but it also does mention a bit of that cooler air in the long range, but not as much as the GFS, as the GFS shows most of it a bit even further out. Now, the Canadian newest model run, which only goes out to 60 hours, does show a bit more activity in the next few days across the Midwest than its prior model run, you can see. So that definitely could be a sign of an increased and larger storm for the Canadian, which is again what we'll have to watch for. And again, just from that, you can see a lot of precip could be falling. Probably more than what this model is showing. Now, let me show you the European, another great weather model that goes out to the medium to almost the long range. And notice that its newest model one The midnight one hasn't come out. I'm recording this as of 11:30 p.m. Wednesday, so let's just take a look at its noon one and notice that it does show some rain showers, some storm systems, nothing too significant, but there we go. Look at that cold front across southern Canada into the northeast again. There could be some severe weather with that, quite a bit of activity, and it does leave several outflow boundaries that could act as kind of areas for new thunderstorm clusters to set up and work off of. And notice as we push this forward, we see a lot of activity across the northern US into southern Canada. Again, potentially that second system. This is our 170, 180, which is still far out, but again, the chunk of this, the core of this system is further across into northern Canada. And the pattern remains this northwest to southeast flow, which the other models are all agreeing on. It's just these little differences. If I were to show you the European, notice that the quantitative precipitation forecast does favor, again, the eastern United States, southeastern Canada, not so much the west or the central US or even the mid-Atlantic, but where the rain would fall, it's going to fall heavily with these thunderstorms. And of course, the monsoons, Arizona, portions of western New Mexico could also be seeing quite a lot of rain, which is definitely something to watch for. As a lot of this has been occurring kind of on repeat, and that could definitely cause a good degree of flooding. Now, I do want to mention that these are just three models that we looked at. The short range models like the NAM, they only go out to 84 hours, but with that first storm system, we can start getting a good look at it as it will be occurring within the 84-hour range. Again, notice that the NAM does keep it active up until then with these smaller showers and disturbances. Notice Illinois, Indiana, potentially some tomorrow, into the Dakotas, into the southeast as well. Nothing too big, but then we see that cold front organizing, and look, boom, into the weekend on Saturday, we could see a pretty strong, again, cold front. The models have recently trended it to being a bit more further to the north, and look, it's pretty much almost vertical right there, that line of storms. Hopefully it does spread into Illinois and Michigan a bit more than what this model is showing, as a lot of those areas would need some rain. But notice, nonetheless, there could be definitely some severe weather with this, some storms. And as you saw, the total accumulated precipitation is definitely indicating that there could be some storms. You would not get 2 inches in 4 hours from just a broad rain band. That may have looked really weak, but there definitely are some potent storms in that. Notice across Arizona, a lot of rain potentially, and that is definitely something we have to also watch for. Colorado, New Mexico, I think the whole state's almost under a flash flood watch, so a lot of rain could be falling there, additionally on top of what has already fallen. Now, that's the NAM model. Let's take a look at the RDPS, which is a kind of a Canadian high-res. Again, pretty good model. Notice it favors strong rains up here, indicative of, again, thunderstorm activity. And it does also show quite a bit of heavy rain across Arizona and New Mexico. Now, I do want to mention that just because it's not showing a lot of rain across, say, Minnesota or North Dakota doesn't mean that there won't necessarily be. But you can see right there a few pockets of an inch and a half. So for many locations here, it's going to stay dry, but you may just be lucky enough to get caught under a thunderstorm or two and pick up, 1 to 2 inches. Or the forecast may be a bit off and there could be more activity into North Dakota and South Dakota. Or, vice versa towards the east. So this is very changeable, but it does kind of give us idea of where the precip is favored. And obviously when you have such bright colors like right here, we pretty much know that there will be activity somewhere in the area that will be causing very, very heavy rain. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to show you. The United Kingdom meteorological model. This is a decent model. Notice it's really favoring similar situations, and also does show quite a bit across the southeast. But notice a lot of the U.S. kind of staying abandoned. But again, that storm system is powerful, just a bit further towards the north, and it's the cold front that's going to be affecting us. Really, the viewer watch area, which is southern Canada and the rest of the U.S. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all on the next episode, which will probably be on Saturday with my winter outlook. And then after Saturday, there will probably be a break till about next Wednesday with no upload. All right, thank you guys.